Alzheimer's breakthrough. What is Alzheimer's disease? Alzheimer's is a degenerative brain disorder that slowly robs the people of their memory and thinking ability. Worldwide, it is the most common form of dementia, a loss of cognitive functioning, contributing 60 to 70% according to World Health Organization. Progressive and irreversible, it usually begins with a mild memory loss. As symptoms grow severe, patients lose the ability to perform even simple tasks. Pathology of the disease is a deposition of abnormal protein called meta-amyloid in the brain. What was the latest trial that failed? Decade-long efforts used crenizumab, a drug designed to block beta amyloid and involved people with specific genetic mutation that leads to early onset of Alzheimer's at the age around mid 40s. What is the failure seen as a major setback? A drug to prevent the treat Alzheimer's has been elusive for years. According to World Health Organization, dementia is currently the 7th leading cause of death among all diseases and one of the major cause of disability dependency among the older people. In 2021, however, US FDA approved Biogen's beta amyloid targeting drug Aduhelm, making it the first new Alzheimer's drug to receive the approval in US in almost 20 years. It's a basis. Another approach is aimed at modifying lifestyle factors to slow the cognitive decline. This is the basis of worldwide finger study. The strongest modifiable factors linked to the disease are hypertension, diabetes, smoking, alcohol consumption and sedentary lifestyle. What is the Indian scenario? In India, only 1 in 10 people with dementia receive any diagnosis, treatment or care care for the disease according to World Alzheimer's Report 2021. Lack of awareness is a major problem. Most of our population accepts it as a normal aging, which is incorrect. Only when it reaches an unmanageable stage, like the patients start wetting their clothes, are not aware of it when medical help is short. Unfortunately, most patients come to us very late. An increasing prevalence of diabetes, hypertension, obesity is expected to drive up the incidence of dementia in India in coming decades. According to Global Burden of Disease study in Lancet this year, India could see 197% jump in dementia including Alzheimer's from 3.84 million cases in 2019 to 11.44 million cases by 2050. Next article that talks about let there be data. This is about Narendra Modi government is set to launch a new household consumer expenditure survey from July. The exercises welcome. In fact, long overdue. Consumer expenditure survey covering some 1.2 lakh rural and 84,000 urban household is supposed to be conducted every 5 years. Last two such nationwide sample surveys carried out in 2011 and 12 and 17 and 18. Unfortunately, the results of 17 and 18 survey are not released on grounds of unexplained data quality issues. Effectively, it means there is no official data after 2011 and 12 for estimating poverty lines and ratios based on the consumption spending below the certain level and percentage of households falling within the deprivation threshold. Many growth rates and government welfare programs have little meaning, especially in countries like India, if these do not result in reducing poverty. Without data, it's difficult to gauge whether it is happening at all, leave alone at an accelerated phase. The current data vacuum is in contrast to 2011 and 12 when there is a surfeit of information from the decennial census and rural development ministry socio-economic caste census. Later data was in fact key to identification of beneficiaries under Modi government's own successful scheme, be it rural housing and toilets or providing free LPG and electricity connection. Data-driven policy making is vital to other areas as well. For instance, is consumption of foods rich in protein, milk, pulse, egg, meat, micronutrients such as fruits and vegetables growing at the same rate as in the previous decades. Only consumer expenditure survey can give satisfactory answer to these questions, which is also matter for making future demand projecting, crop planning and dietary diversification interventions. While the consumer expenditure survey launch its timely, government should move to doing surveys on a more regular basis. The existing quinquennial framework waiting for normal years make no sense. The recent periods has been disrupting owing to demonetization, GST, COVID, Ukraine war and induced commodity price shock. Since the government decision making may be dynamic and responsive to the changing ground situation, data has been keep flowing in a CMIE can survey on 236,000 households thrice every year. There is no reason why the National Statistical Office do not CES, which is based on, that is a consumer expenditure survey, which is based on more comprehensive questionnaire at least annually, even with a smaller sample size. No silver bullet. Bipartisan support for gun control legislation is a historic moment in US politics, but the issue remains a divisive one. Bipartisan support in US Senate for the passage of most significant gun control legislation in 3 decades is historic by many measures. As many as 15 Republican senators voted to override the filibuster and pass the law in 100-member Senate. 2 teachers were killed in shooting in Uvalde, Texas. The law provides for a stricter background and mental health checks and encourages states to prevent people considered as threat for possessing firearms. Yet, on the same day as deadlock was overcome in the Senate, verdict by US Supreme Court and political response to the law show that the issue is far from being laid to rest. By majority of 6-3, Supreme Court struck down New York's proper cause requirement. Proper cause rules limit who can carry a gun in public spaces. In essence, to obtain a license, one must demonstrate an actual need of the gun for self-defense. Version of proper cause, in fact, are part of the gun law in many countries, including India. The court's decision was split along political lines, with liberal judges forming the minority, dissenting opinion, and conservatives upholding the absolute right to bear arms. One of the Joe Biden's assets when he was presidential candidate was his record of having built bipartisan consensus in his long years as a senior legislator. The US political system, including in the judiciary, over 3/4 of all homicides in US are a result of gun violence. Next article that we are moving into is related to powering our future. This article talks about the prices of crude impacts the cost of essential goods like food, clothing. Since every goods that we access daily can be transported long distance, significant fallout of Russia invasion of Ukraine has been rising cost of petroleum. Russia is the world's largest exporter of oil products to global markets and the second largest exporter of crude oil behind Saudi Arabia. Around 60% of the Russia's oil export go to Europe and other 20% to China. In response to invasion, Western countries including US and Europe has imposed an array of sanctions against Russia. Europe and US has been price of oil steadily rise after they reduced their purchase from Russia. India on other hand has chosen a different route. We are the third largest importer and consumer of oil in the world and have increased our purchase of Russian oil to cope up with the rising oil price elsewhere. Both reported on India as an emerging major buyer of Russian oil. India is importing an average of million barrels a day. We are also refining crude oil or turning it into products like jet fuels, diesel and selling it into Europe and other nations. Importing Russian crude oil also helps us curb inflation that has made worse by rising fuel price. Procuring discounted Russian oil is an effort by government to bring down the prices and halt the decline in the value of Indian rupee. India's behavior is governed by our best interest, which is the most important element of astute of foreign and economic policy. We have historically imported oil and crude from Iran, Iraq and Russia, countries that have been precariously placed either due to war or sanctions. For now, Russia has been able to take the sting out of the sanctions by selling crude and oil coal at a reasonable price in a greater volumes to a newer bulk buyers like India to combat the Europe trying to wean it sell of Russia crude. In the European Union has also announced a ban against ensuring ships carrying Russian oil to commence this December. Countries like India, China, Turkey that is increasing oil purchases from Russia have 6 months to find a workaround to insurance ban by using non-European insurance companies. As the Wall Street Journal reports, European companies own most of the ships carrying Russian oil to India. These insurance sanctions will impact the companies that own these ships as well. It remains to be seen what impacts all this will have on both the global economy in general, Russian economy in particular. We may have been able to buy cheaper crude from Russia and tide through this crude storm. India cannot afford to be dependent on unhindered supply of electric batteries from China, given a geopolitical consideration and border disputes border disputes between two nations, to weather the new electric era that will no doubt be dotted with territorial wars and national security concerns. India would not well to preempt shortages in the arena by putting in place factories which will build the electric parties that will power our futures. What the invasion of Ukraine has taught us in that we need more self-reliant and have in house energy sources. Next article is all about new rules for new game. We need a structured gaming laws that allows the players to enjoy the thrill of online gaming responsibility, safely and transparently. Online gaming has swiftly emerged as most engaging form of entertainment in India owing to younger demographics, increased internet penetration, affordable smartphones. The popularity of online gaming include esports, online casual games. Real money gaming can be gauged readily, with the industry growing at the rate of 35% in 2019-2020, outpacing OTT, television, social media platform propelled by the mobile first phenomena. The ramification and perpetual ambiguity. Online real money gaming is often confused with gambling, which the game of skill. Fantasy, chess, bridge, rummy, pokers are illegal, protected under the constitution. Games of chances like roulette, teen putty, dice are essentially about gambling and hence deemed illegal. As per the Indian constitution, gambling is classified as state list. States have the power to regulate or prohibit such activities. Failing to distinguish between online skill-based gaming and gambling, some states have either placed restrictions and buried sundry sectors under regulatory ambivalence. This is unfortunate given that the game of skills are legitimate business activities protected under Article 19, Class 1G of the Indian Constitution as per the rulings of Supreme Court and several High Courts till date. These rulings have also emphasized a clear distinction between game of skills and game of chance. Last year, Tamil Nadu government amended the Tamil Nadu Gaming and Police Laws 1930 banning online games. The ordinance banned all forms of online gaming and stated that games of mere skill, if played for wager, bet money or other stakes, cannot be allowed in the state. Madras High Court, however, struck down the law in August 2021, observing that the complete ban was unconstitutional. The court also acknowledged that the game was involving substantial skill would not amount to gambling. Government recently constituted a 4-member committee to examine the issues related to online gambling and make recommendation for promulgation of ordinances to regulate the sector. Constituted against the backdrop of a report of unfortunate instances of people indulging in irrelevant gaming, and the committee will examine the ways to identify the online games which are addictive and suggest whether these games are really involve skills or mere tricks. It will also study the algorithm of online games to ascertain whether they can be tweaked to benefits of online gaming companies. This initiative is certainly welcoming one and demonstrates government's progressive intent to protect the interest of the players. However, to really protect the players in the regulatory model needs a comprehensive review. The way forward is to formulate a structured gaming laws that allows the players to enjoy the thrills of online gaming responsibly, safely, transparently and securely. For the players, the industry and government need of the hour is to acknowledge the significant responsible gaming and develop a regulatory framework defined by the progressive policy to monitor and mitigate the possibility of irresponsible gaming. Attempt to solve the potential issues with a ban will only result in players migrating from legitimate online skill-based operators to fly-by-night operators and leads to uncontrolled illegal activities. Regulation and responsible gaming will provide players with secure and trustworthy environment. Next article that we are moving into is related to Don't Cry for Agniveers. This article, before moving this into this article, let us continue this in the next video. If you have any doubt in the terms or any articles in this video, if you have any doubt, please do comment in the comment box. Thank you. If you like the video, please do share, like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.